True digital security delivers assurance, clarity, and innovation to a complex world of information security, information technology, and IT governance. We are protecting and empowering a connected world.
Yeah, so IT and security, it's really a dance between the two organizations. From a security perspective, I'm looking at IT, so I can do it the traditional way, and I can identify vulnerabilities, I can identify threats, but if I can't take any action on that, if I can't patch a system, if I can't block the firewall, then I don't feel like I'm successful in protecting my organization. On the other side, from an IT perspective, yeah, I'm responsible for managing the systems and installing the patches, but understanding what's the latest vulnerability, what's the latest threat. I need help from security. And oftentimes from an IT perspective, I need help in understanding what are my regulatory obligations, what are my contractual obligations. And those are all things that from an IT perspective, the IT doesn't traditionally handle or deal with. So IT is looking for options. Give me a firewall. This is great. It's the best firewall in the world. How do you want it configured? That's a separate question. You go to a great IT group and they're going to configure that firewall really, really well. But who's going to define that configuration? Who's going to define those settings? It's not all just going to be IT. There's regulatory implications. There's client implications. There's security implications. And so it's really this dance. And so I think that in organizations, if you're just an IT focused and security is only under IT, then you're probably missing a lot of things. If you just have security and you're just outsourcing security and you're just expecting the security vendor to identify threats and let you know when there's a potential breach, then you're missing something. You're missing that opportunity to harden the system. So I think it requires both. So a holistic IT company is that company that is able to do that communication, that understands that divide, that separation between from an IT perspective, from a security perspective, and from a user perspective. So communicating the user and letting them know. I think in the past, IT was always, for security reasons, we have to block Facebook. For security reasons, we've got to block Google. So we can't play this game from an IT perspective. It's got to be a risk-based approach, especially in today's world. You asked me a question earlier about what's the future of security. The future of security is not just no longer do we have a perimeter. No longer do I have a firewall and this is my internal network. And in order to gain access to our resources, you have to VPN into our network to gain access to resources. No, the resources are everywhere. The resources are all over the globe. In software as a service applications and platform as a service and all these other services. So there's no firewall anymore. Oftentimes in businesses, it's mostly outbound communication to gain access to the resources. So the shifting parameter from a security perspective is shifting. It's just not a firewall. It can't just be a firewall. We've got to start looking at the data. We have to start understanding the applications, the users. And sometimes that's outside the IT purview. So IT is typically responsible for internal systems, right? They're not necessarily responsible for the IT systems related to Office 365. So what are those responsibilities? Those need to be defined by the security team.
True digital security delivers assurance, clarity, and innovation in consulting and assessments, cloud adoption plus security, managed IT, security operations, information technology, compliance readiness, and validation and testing.